Okay, Coach, well, it wouldn't be Florida without this. A heavy tropical rainstorm coming down just prior to kickoff here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is fielded a couple yards deep.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Ready. Blue ready. Mike, 45. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Switch. Hey, 5 on the 50. Switch.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And an alley to run. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. He is tough to bring down, Jameis Winston. Yeah, Charles, I remember calling a baseball game of his. He played baseball at Florida State, too, and you saw his legs, tree trunks sprayed in to those baseball pants. I said, how could anybody bring this guy down?
And that's part of the beauty of his game because he has that toughness, that thick body. He may not beat you sprinting, but he's real sharp with his mind, and he knows how to get away from people.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Wait. After the 36-yard line. Pick the edge. Go. Easy. Green, triple T. 45, Mike, 45. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Let him go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Winston, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go. 70 inch. 80 weapon. 80 weapon.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
53 to Mike. 53. Check 53.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. On third down, a run from Breida. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 13 yards there and a Niner first. From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Back to throw here. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Now it's Breida, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. He can run for it, and he will. He has enough for the first down on the keeper, a gain of 6. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On first down, here's Breida. Oh, now Breida loses it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On play action, they'll throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Right there.
22-jet bomber, 22-jet bomber.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Come on, set. 8, read. Ready.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. From 6 yards away, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. 6-0 our score after 1. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
They can't hang with us. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Mike 5-4. All right, T, let's try. All right, T. Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54, Mike. Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got it.
Jameis to throw it. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
45. 45. Easy. Hey, get ready. Get ready. Get ready. That's it.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He completes it to Evans. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. That's taken on the 25. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Levante David making his presence felt in the backfield.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They'll drop to throw. Hey, right on cue. They set up the screen and complete it. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. Well, they took your advice from a bit earlier, tried the screen, but that one, it was covered up pretty well.
They did a nice job on it, but I still think it was the right idea. Probably just a block or two away from making it work.
The Niners on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 15 for the Niners there and a 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a give coming right is Breida. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Let's go.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. He'll look to throw. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, some credit there to A.J. Green, because he's so tough to cover. Sometimes he causes those penalties.
And he's one of the more difficult guys to cover in the NFL because of his ability to do just about anything on a route. Hard to do. Creates a lot of pass interference calls.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. 2nd and 6. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker, Quan Alexander.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
The Niners on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
45. Mike, 45.
Exit. 45 is the mark. Go.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. That time 12 yards on the pass play, but still shy of where they needed to go. 4th and goal. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And that will make our score 9-0. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
Right there.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Ready. Move ready.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Hey, watch that. Check, Mike.
Hey, let's get him some pressure.
54. Watch the flood. Watch the flood.
Hey, 5-0. Let's go.
To throw is Winston.
Check 26.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Pulled in at the 24. A big-time return there, 40 yards. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch the run.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin White came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Hey, easy. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Got to do better.
Hey, stop. Let's go.
Watch out.
Let's go.
Following the interception, Winston. Man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. They just do get the play off. Now Winston. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Credit the sack to Fred Warner. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go!
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
Dirty base, let's go. Yes! Greystone travel, Greystone travel.
They go counter with Breida. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. This is Mostert. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They run with Breida. He doesn't find a ton of space following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 23.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
It really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Matt Breida, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. So trying to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, we try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of this game?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And that will skip out of bounds right at about the 18-yard line.
At their own 18-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
He's going to air one out. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This is Breida. Room past the 20. And he'll get this awfully close to a 1st down. Well, that's going to be a razor-thin measurement, but I don't think he got there. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out?
Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Here we go. 53's the mark. 50.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Second and 15. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Tampa. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the fourth and final quarter. The Niners on third down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Now this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game, and that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
I'm scared.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. This thrown quickly out to Jones. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Ready. Blue ready. 45. Double dog. That's the way.
Winston now to throw on first down. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. A nice start to the drive, picking up 12 yards there and a very quick first down. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Here's Breida. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. They run again with Breida. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
2nd and 12 at the Bucs' 38-yard line.
Here we go. Set. 60. Orange. It goes.
Now Mostert. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. He'll drop to throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 12-yard line. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far, and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage. Now here's Goodwin with it on the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Let's go now, let's go now, let's go now. 70 in.
Tight right. We got 3, fellas, we got 3. 25, check 25.
Greystone trap, Greystone trap.
45.
2nd and 13. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down. So that play much needed there as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10. Winston now. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going. Again, it's Jones. Oh, look at that. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Ready? White 25. Come on here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it. Slam, slam, slam. White.
Now Winston. A dump underneath to Jones. It's a 4-yard pickup, and all of a sudden here it's third down. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so, but it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down.
Rush in. Hey, stop.
Winston to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's got some space here. Past the 20. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. They go back to the ground with Jones. And he's into the end zone. No flags. It's a touchdown. And now a 2-point conversion. And we'll be tied here in the final minute.
Do they have one big call left? Here we go. So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the 2-point conversion.
You. Green, come team. 45 to Mike. Easy. 45.
They're going to try and run for it. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice. So the victory here for San Francisco, and it was a game where they got out to a pretty good size lead, and then they had to hang on for dear life at the end.
Not exactly how you would draw it up. You would continue to score and find ways to keep your lead pretty well throughout the game. But they did find a way to win, as you noted, hung on at the end as the big rush came at them. Fortunately enough, they put enough points on the board to have enough of a cushion that they're able to survive what happened in the fourth quarter.
So for the 49ers, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers,